back to my channel. So I'm here today with the lovely mermaid Revenna, who is a fellow mermaid tail maker. Tell us a bit about yourself.
I started swimming in tails like around 2014. One of my best friends' brother's girlfriend was a mermaid. She moved up here from California and had a tail and a fin. And I was like, that's really cool. And so I decided to make one for myself. And I started with the Finnis wave or the wrap, whatever the smaller one is.
Yeah.
So I made a tail for that. And I have it with me.
You do?
It is a poor faded little sad
beautiful
thing. But it was this most beautiful, beautiful blue color. And I probably had it for about a year before it completely turned to white. But you can
so
still
it was blue before?
It was like a blue sort of watercolory ombre type.
Oh, that's crazy!
Thing.
And then it actually just the chlorine.
Yeah,
you can see a little bit.
You can still see a little bit of blue in there. I actually remade.
Oh, you remade it?
The bottom of the tail. I got some new fabric. That was also
that's
blue.
why it's. Oh, okay. I feel you now.
It used to be attached
to this one.
Yep.
Okay. Right on.
This is some very old spandex right here.
Beautiful. It feels like you've got some boning.
Yep, I've got boning on the inside.
Okay.
On one side of it.
On one side of it. Okay.
And then the Velcro, it sort of holds the fluke shape on the bottom.
Oh, that's wonderful.
So it has a very slight whale tail type shape.
Oh, definitely. You know how I dig that.
Yeah.
I'm all about the whale tail.
So that was how I got started.
That's awesome.
My friend whose friend got me into it, one of my best friends, and she also started mermaiding with me.
Where did the name Revenna come from?
It came when I started looking for a name for my cosplay stuff, because people, when I was at cons, would be like, do you have like contact information or whatever, and I was like, I don't really want to give you my real name. So I wanted to come up with something. And Revenna actually comes from two names. You can probably guess the first part. Star Wars.
Okay, she just got that much cooler, my dudes. Oh my god. I can't believe I didn't think about that. That's how we met, you guys.
Yeah.
We worked together.
Yep.
And it's Halloween, and they were having a costume contest, and I was a Jedi, and my dog was a Wookiee. And I ran down the stairs, and I'm like, oh my god, you're dressed as Bastila. And I think I must have had a freak out, and you were like, what the heck?
I was just happy somebody recognized it.
I ran at you. I was like, this is the best costume ever. Yeah, that was so awkward. I'm sorry.
So yeah, the Reven is the first half, and that partly came because that's like my favorite video game ever, and I was the first cosplay that the first complicated cosplay that I ever did was a Reven cosplay. And then the Enna is a screen name that I used for forever. I read a book when I was in middle school called The Goose Girl, and the main character's best friend is named Enna, and I was like, it's almost my name and I like it, so I started using it as like a screen name, and so I just smooshed them together because the Reven already had the EN at the end, and I was like, this works.
So perfect. I am so glad that was a question I asked now, because that's so cool. Okay, if you guys don't know what we're talking about Knights of the Old Republic, like OG Knights of the Old Republic, and let me tell you, if it isn't
2005.
just like the best, it's like the best game ever. And so whereabouts are you from?
I grew up in the Seattle area, Bellevue to be slightly more specific, so down in Washington.
Oh, right on. I didn't know that.
Yeah, so actually I moved up here a little more than 4 years ago to work at DHX, the company that
that's right, yep. Okay, so do you have a background in sewing, or did you sort of learn it on the fly?
My mom and my grandma taught me, for the most part. I think I took a few classes when I was younger. I always really liked sewing and costuming stuff, but I got more into it after. When I was in college, I was working at Joann Fabrics briefly, between the time that I graduated and when I started working up here.
Right.
So as a fabric store, I was working at the cutting counter, which a bunch of other lovely girls, and we were all really into cosplay and stuff.
That's awesome.
So I went to a couple cons with some of them, and yeah, it was a fun time, and I sort of started sewing a lot more around that time.
What would you say is sort of your biggest mermaid inspiration when it comes to tail making or just mermaiding in general?
Kind of whatever comes to mind at the moment. Right now there's a lot of Disney princess influence. There was my Rapunzel Tale that I did. I have many ideas based on a lot of animated movies. Mm-hmm. I have plans for a Toothless / Night Fury tale. It's in the works. It's been on my shelf for forever. And then Mertailor released the Fantasy 2, and I'm like, oh my god, I need this book.
Yes, please do it. Oh my god.
So yeah, I'm working on getting that.
That's gonna be way too good.
It'll be great.
It's gonna be really good.
So it's a lot of animated movies, fairy tales in general. I like fluttery, flowy things. So just kind of whenever the inspiration strikes me, I don't make half the tales I think of. Like for a while, I saw some a really specific fabric at the fabric store once, and I was like, this looks a lot like rainbow fish, and so I was doodling around like rainbow fish tales for a while, but it never actually materialized.
Right on, right on.
So yeah, sometimes it comes from I see a fabric and I'm like, ooh, this could work for this, or I'll read something and I'll be like, oh. Mm-hmm.
Very organic, it sounds like.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the big question. How many tales have you made so far? Have you been keeping track?
At one point I was. I feel like it was somewhere between 8 and 12 last time I counted.
Nice.
I made 13. One for Courtney's first squid tale.
Oh,
she designed it, but I did the construction.
Oh, okay. Do you have any words of wisdom when it comes to other mermaids making their own tales? What would you tell a mermaid who's just starting out, they want to make their own tale? What's a pearl of wisdom, something that you've learned along the way, or something that you want to impart?
Okay. Don't try and cram everything into your first tale. I had this problem. Another friend of mine who was making her tale had this issue where it's I want it to be able to do everything and be super versatile, which is great. I love those kinds of tales. But when it's your first tale, you will never finish it. You'll get halfway through and it just will never, ever be done. So just pick one direction and do it.
But there is something really awesome about the level of creativity, especially the Rapunzel Tale. It was the Rapunzel Tale. Do you have it?
Yes, I have it.
We'll show you guys up close and everything in a sec. This tale blows my mind. It's so beautiful, and all the little extra details, and can we seriously?
I wanted something real simple. I just bought a yard and a half of this stuff, ripped it in half, and then did a
so lovely, though.
satin stitch along the edge.
So it's kind of like her hair, right? The Rapunzel hair. It's just it was just so unique, and it flows so beautifully in the water. I also I so appreciate the fact that your scales all line up down her seams, you guys. Attention.
You had some great advice for that one.
Really?
Yes, yes, I did. The next one I printed through a different place that was more expensive. The printing quality is better.
And this feels a little bit more coarse, but a little bit thicker.
Yeah, it is.
In its own way.
This is very soft and very nice, but
I love
you just
this
can't make it
tale.
as tight.
This is the tale. You would have seen her in my video at the California Mermaid Convention.
Yes.
This is the baby that she was rocking. And oh my goodness, if I didn't have a little freak out at one point there, I was I hadn't seen it in person, right? So I was oh my god. And the fade and the skin tone and everything was so on point. It made me so happy.
Still working on getting exactly the right skin tone. When it's wet, it looks fine. You can't really see it.
It probably gets a bit darker. Fabric,
it does.
When it gets wet, gets darker. So people see it and be like, oh, it's too light.
When I'm taking dry pictures, it's there's definitely a bit of a line.
For sure, but that's what Photoshop is for.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank goodness for Photoshop. Thank goodness for knowing how to use Photoshop, okay?
Yes, thank you, school, for teaching me how to do that.
Exactly. The question that I know people are going to ask you, do you accept commissions?
Complicated answer. Yes, but really right now local only, because I don't feel super comfortable working with someone that's not here at the moment. So yes, if you want, you can contact me through my Instagram. I will try and be more on top of checking my private messages. I probably won't take too many in one go.
No, for sure, for sure. How do you feel about silicone tails? I had to ask.
Okay.
Sorry.
I like them. Someday, maybe in the future, if I ever have disposable income, I might own one. But I quite like the fabric tails. They actually internal mermaid logic story. So my, I guess what do we call it? Mermaid story, the way that I think about it is this. I'm a mermaid, but I'm still a mammal. So my skin is the same color all the way down.
Yes.
I'm completely flesh toned. So the tails are actually fabric tails. But I am, naked underneath.
That is so good. Oh my god, that's actually that's brilliant, actually. I really like that. So it's just like an outfit. You're like,
It's just
yeah,
like
I'm
an
just
outfit.
rocking an outfit over
I'm
my
doing
actual
fabric because I don't want to skin my actual fish friends. But
oh my God, I love that. Isn't that good? God, sorry, we have an audience behind us. They're like, yes, Courtney, it's brilliant. That is actually so on point. That made me so happy just now. So yeah, so you do have a preference of like, you're happy rocking them.
I'm happy with the fabric tails. I like being able to create my own stuff, and I'm not at a point where I can like make my own silicone tail, which would kind of be my like ultimate goal if I was going to have one, because part of the fun for me is the actual like creation process. Like I like actually swimming around as a mermaid, but like I don't want this to come out wrong. I don't always enjoy it as much when I haven't actually like had a hand in the creation of the things that I'm wearing.
Like that. That's exactly how I feel it. It's not to make anybody feel
like,
bad.
It's perfectly fine if
to
you
go and buy
like
a tail, yeah.
buying a tail, but like personally, like half of the fun is like doing my own stuff.
Yes, that is exactly how I feel, and so like such a big portion of why we do it, I guess, right?
Yeah.
All right, so I want to thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
It was so much fun. It was really good. It's cool to see other tail makers out there. It also gives you guys kind of a little bit of inspo, I think. That you can do it. You can do it. It's creative and it's fun, and am I right?
Yeah, it's great.
That's really good.
There's really not anything quite like swimming in your own tail that you made.
It's a real rush, especially when you see the footage afterwards and you're like,
yeah, it's like I did that.
So if you liked today's video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button to join the pod and the bell notification as well so you never miss an upload. If you would like to check out Revenna Mermaid anywhere on social media, all the links will be down in the description box down below. Down there and check it out. And otherwise, I look forward to seeing you all in my next video. Happy swimming! Bye!